are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome back to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is May 7th, 2026. Third episode for today. Knocking them out of the park. So, just did some dishes, put the food up. I'm going to take a bath sometime tonight. I'm going to be up all night, which I work third shift, so that's fine. I may put out more episodes tonight. Who knows? I feel like my schedule right now, because I used to do one episode a day, maybe two, just depending on my time and shit. Here lately, I feel like during the week when I work, I feel like I've been sleeping and then catching up on doing a shit ton of episodes on my days off. I'm off today, so this is my third one today. My schedule is all out of whack. My life's a little crazy right now since the car went down. Yeah, it's a little hectic right now. So, let's plug the stuff real quick. I got a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you choose to donate to the channel, you will get sent a bumper sticker. These things are durable as fuck. My wife has one on her coffee mug. The thing has been washed 1,000 times. It still holds up. And you will also get sent a bookmark. I will sign it on the back. Unless you don't want me to, then you can hit me up in the comments and buy me a coffee. It helps pay for pens, papers. Helps me buy a new car. Yeah. So, we've been covering a lot of Epstein lately. And in the last episode, the episode I put out about an hour ago, we covered death of Ted Turner. We haven't covered some alien stuff in a little bit. We were for a little bit covering a shit ton of alien stuff. So, I'm an old school conspiracy theorist, man. We're just gonna dive right in. Like, when I say that, like, that I was born and raised, like, in a conspiracy family, my dad was, like, an old school conspiracy theorist as far as, like, the fun conspiracies. Back in the day, we used to have these fun conspiracies. Now, every conspiracy is literally terrifying and dystopian. My dad, he had a copy of the alien autopsy video on VHS. He would talk about aliens. He was a big Star Wars fan. Every now and then, he'd listen to Coast AM with Art Bell. That was pretty cool. He talked about the JFK assassination. Matrix came out. He got into, like, simulated reality, all that shit. So I grew up kind of 1 foot in the conspiracy community. Ain't gonna lie, dude. I know that this whole UFO disclosure thing is a distraction, in my opinion, from the Epstein files, which, by the way, we're still covering both. There's a lot of people who I see, like, I watch Luke Radowski, like, just about every day. Like, We Are Change. Shout outs to him. Go subscribe to him. Check him out. He puts out a lot of good info. Tell him who sent you. Maybe one day I'll get a shout out. I watch him just about every day because he puts out good info. But here lately, he's been covering a lot of ufology stuff with this whole disclosure shit going on. And I see people in the comment sections being like, this is a distraction from the Epstein files. I'm getting so tired of you putting this shit out. And it's like, why? Well, because they're distracting us from the Epstein files. And first of all, that's an insult to your intelligence. Are you that unintelligent that you can't focus on more than one thing? My channel focuses on all of conspiracy. If it's I honestly, you know how I choose my subject matter is, one, do I want to? I do this for me more than I do it for you. I love you all, but I do this for me. For one, it's therapeutic. Two, I enjoy having fun talking about conspiracies. So I go, is this conspiracy something fun to talk about? That's my first and foremost. And yes, the alien shit right now is fun to talk about. Two, is it pressing and needs paid attention to? But also, you're insulting your own intelligence if you think that you can't focus on more than one thing. I can focus on the UFO disclosure and the Epstein files. I can focus on both. I don't know about you, and I was special ed, but I can focus on both. So I see those type of comments of like, you're insulting your own intelligence. Okay, I agree with you. It probably is a distraction. Most likely, in my opinion, a distraction from the Epstein files. Doesn't mean we still can't focus on both. Just an idea. You know, I can multitask. I can chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. But anyways, so this will be in a playlist of alien disclosure, missing scientist. It all kind of ties together. This was crazy. So this was May 5th. I seen this, yeah, that sounds about right, 2 days ago. I'd never even heard of this case. And it reminds me a lot of JFK and Marilyn Monroe. So JFK and Marilyn Monroe kind of tie in with the whole ufology conspiracy community, because one of the theories is that they killed Marilyn because we all know JFK was fucking Marilyn along with RFK. They were having threesomes and just weird shit like that. Sorry, that's gross to me. I've always thought that was gross. But there was a lot of pillow talk between Marilyn and JFK, you know. Marilyn was a freak in the sheets, so I'm sure like she was blowing his mind. Jackie Onassis was very upright, very proper woman, and I'm sure Marilyn was doing crazy shit like tossing his salad, and he'd never had that done before, and he's like, I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you, you know, the nuclear codes, just keep tossing my salad. Bitch was a freak. So supposedly he was telling her all this like secret UFO shit, and that's one of the theories of why they took Marilyn out. This Chandra Levy apparently was with a politician. He was having an affair with his wife, with Chandra Levy. God rest her soul. I'm not being disrespectful towards her. I'm going to try to be as respectful as possible. Supposedly, her mom and dad came out with all these missing scientists that have been going missing lately, and a lot of these ufologists going missing and stuff. Go check out the playlist I created, the two that I mentioned. They think that the same type of shit happened. And just to sum it up a little short, like, apparently they found the guy that killed this woman. She went missing and died. But then turns out through DNA testing, it wasn't the guy. He got off after spending time in prison. Which, by the way, if they throw you in prison, like, for life or something, and you get off, like, I think you should, for the rest of your life, not have to pay bills, never have to work, get to vacation for the rest of your life. Like, they took time away from your life. They ruined your life, essentially. Her parents came out and were talking on mainstream news. This ties in with Greer. This ties in with the missing scientist. This ties in with the ufology community. It's a whole fucking rabbit hole. And I'd never heard of this woman's case until now. Until it came across my radar. So let's dive in. I hope you find this interesting. It's weird. Sorry, I wanted to pee before we submerge ourselves in the waters of conspiracies. Chandra Levy's parents believe her mysterious death is connected to UFOs. Quote unquote, she knew too much. Here's a clip here. We can actually play it. Well, let's read the article first and we'll play it last. They still think the truth is out there. The parents of Chandra, and by the way, it's CH, so it could be Chandra, but I think it's Chandra. I think the CH is a SH. The English language sucks. It's an angelic language, an occultic language. A Federal Bureau of Prisons intern who mysteriously turned up dead 25 years ago believes she could have been wiped out because she knew too much about UFO. That rhymes. Susan and Robert Levy dropped the extraterrestrial theory about the daughter's cold case slaying on the anniversary of May Day, of her May Day disappearance. So that's weird right there. If you guys are like me, I'm an occultist. I study the occult. I've been studying the occult for years. May Day is like an elite holiday, an Elite holiday. There's always weird shit that happens on May 1st, like Artemis. Go check out the Artemis 2 hoax episode I did. I'll link it below on Spotify. And as the White House has ordered an investigation into a series of other mysterious deaths and disappearances of scientists. Here's a picture of her parents. These are the Levies. If it keeps on raining, the levees will break. Just reminds me of that. I find weird things, coincidences with people's names. Levy, the levee's gonna break. Of all this knowledge of ufology, and I just find it interesting. Susan and Robert Levy dropped the extraterrestrial theory about their daughter's cold case slaying on the anniversary of her May 1st disappearance. A lot of people think that she went to a David Greer ufology meeting. She was apparently a ufologist. Her mom and dad are ufologists. She was having sex with a prominent politician. A lot of people, the theory is this guy, allegedly, this prominent politician, made the girl disappear. To put it nicely. And as the White House has ordered an investigation into a series of other mysterious deaths and disappearances of scientists, which we've been covering on this channel. I think it's up to like 13 or 14 now, including this one. The 24-year-old intern who had been having an affair with then Representative Gary Condit, a Democrat from California, vanished in Washington, D.C., while she had been working for the federal agency. So she worked for a federal agency. I'm guessing, I think she was Gary Condit's assistant, if I'm correct. Democrat. Two wings, same bird. I do think the Democrats are a little more evil than the Republicans, but two wings, same bird. I'm a classic liberal. I would be what you would consider a moderate. I believe it's divide and conquer. And this is all alleged. Chandra mentioned something that she knew about the UFOs. That Congressman Condit was on the House Intelligence Committee, so he's an intelligence officer, to learn about UFOs. So he was into ufology and the intelligence community. Her dad, Robert Levy, told News Nation. She says, oh, he believes in UFOs like I do. So apparently the parents knew about the affair. Did they know that this guy was married? I don't know. I personally, if my daughter was sleeping with a married man, I would be like, hey bro, not cool. What are you doing? That's just me. If I was, in that situation as a parent or whatever, I personally would be like, look, I'm not going to throw stones. He without sin cast the first stone. But girl, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that. This dude's married. But yeah. So then it left me thinking, knowing Chandra. She's very inquisitive. Could she have known something that she wasn't supposed to know? And could she have been wiped out because she knew too much? Of course. They did it to Marilyn. Here's a picture of Chandra, by the way. Chandra Levy. She's beautiful. I've always been attracted to pale brunettes, and that's my type right there, dude. Levy's mom went on to speculate that the CIA was somehow connected to her daughter's demise, which, by the way, we've discussed this tons of times on this channel. I'm a broken record. It's always those three letters. It's always those that agency that's behind like 95% of conspiracies. Interesting. You never hear anything good the CIA has ever done. At least I haven't. Why is it always the CIA? One day they're going to take me out. Thank God I'm a small channel, but, you know, one day I'll say too much. He said too much, too much. Let's see. So, Levy's mom went on to speculate the CIA was somehow connected with her daughter's demise, which we covered. So, I'm stepping on a limb. I'm asking for disclosure. Someone knows the truth of what happened to my daughter, Chandra. Maybe it's Chandra instead of Chandra. We'll call her Chandra. And what has happened to a lot of other people who have disappeared, gone missing, that have disappeared in some mysterious ways. The couple added that they had been told not to touch this subject, but wouldn't elaborate any further. More than a year after Levy was reported missing, her remains were uncovered in a park just a few miles from her DC apartment. It's sad. Authorities ruled her death a homicide, but questions still lingered. Condit, for his part, was never named as a suspect and strenuously denied having anything to do with the saga. That right there is shady as fuck. And that lets you know how much power these politicians have. This girl goes missing, gets murdered, they find her remains, and she's having an affair which is public. Well, I think at the time was hidden until the investigation went further, and I believe, if I remember correctly after watching this video on this case, Condit later came out and said, yeah, I was sleeping with her. She was my assistant. We worked together. She was young. She was hot. I banged her, you know. And God knows there's always pillow talk. I don't know about you, but after a good banging with my missus, we always talk afterwards, or sometimes we're talking during or talking before because we've been married and together for 10 years. I know that sounds weird, but, you know, sitting there banging. Do you work tomorrow? Oh, okay, cool. What do you want for dinner? If you're a married couple, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm sure, dude. Shit was why, but he was never investigated. He was never even listed as a suspect. The dude is a high-profile politician. This seems like it would be common sense, but this shows you that there's lots of fishiness going on. In Washington, D.C., by the way, I want to visit there one day to just kind of like, with occultic eyes and a conspiratorial tinfoil hat on, I would love to go and decode it all like Da Vinci Code. Just out of curiosity, all the different statues and monuments and shit. But man, that town has got to be so... I would imagine going into Washington, D.C., you could feel the energy. Because, like, dude, it's got to feel like walking into Babylon or the gates of hell. I don't know about you guys, but I'm, like, super sensitive to energies and shit. Like, I don't like the big city. Like, I feel uncomfortable the place that I'm staying at. I used to live out in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, and it was the most blissful, beautiful time of my life. I'm super sensitive to energies, so like I feel like staying there, I would just be like, fuck, man, like looking over my shoulder, like CIA is gonna get me, man. So then, in 2009, authorities arrested a suspect, Ingmar Guandik, and charged him with her murder. He was convicted the following year, but the case ended up being tossed out in 2015. when it emerged that a key prosecution witness lied in his testimony. So this innocent man who was blamed, they always got to have a fall guy. Just like Oswald, just like, in my opinion, Tyler Robinson, which I kind of let the whole Charlie Kirk shit go. His fan base and the people who hate Charlie Kirk are pieces of shit. Charlie Kirk's fan base and the people who hate him are pieces of shit. I did a whole series on Charlie Kirk, but I kind of let it go because my whole comment section turned toxic as fuck. And I'm like, this ain't even worth it. Like, a podcaster got shot in the neck. Sorry, that sucks, but I'm not going to sit here and, like, deal with these motherfuckers every day who are either, like, the cult of Erica Kirk or against Charlie Kirk. Here I am just delving into a conspiracy for fun, and you guys are being assholes in my comment section. So I was like, yep, y'all have fun, you know. This community is very toxic on shit sometimes. But yeah, this dude, in my opinion, is the fall guy. And of course he's like a Mexican or something. Or no, he's a native of El Salvador. He was released in 2017. Of course it's a brown guy, you know, and I know, I'm sorry, I'm a classic liberal, but that's 2015, you know, the toxicity of the political environment during that time. Like, fuck yeah, let's blame it on a brown guy, an immigrant, you know. Perfect fall guy. But yeah, so the whole thing is fucking fishy as hell. Let's play this clip real quick. If it'll play, because I know I've struggled with news shit on here. Alright. Make sure the mute is off. And see if it plays. Come on, baby. Like I said, I told you guys, sorry about the tech difficulties, but you know how news stations are. Well, here's the play button again. Come on, play. Dead air. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that hype button. If you're on YouTube, you only get 3 hypes a month, or a week, I mean. I like to give mine out to smaller channels. Okay, done loading. Okay, it's not gonna fucking play. Alright, but let me know what you guys think. The whole thing's fucking weird. It's during this whole disclosure shit. It's during this whole missing scientist shit. I'm gonna put it in both playlists, the missing scientist and the disclosure shit. We got a little bit more time for another story. I'm gonna play this story real quick. So yeah, give me just a second. I'll recoup and we'll get on with the next story and we'll wrap it up. So, yep, we're recording good. First story was exciting. This one is not as exciting. But why am I reporting on it? I think it's important. They don't want us driving. They don't want us traveling. They want us locked into a dystopian future. Smart cities, Blade Runner shit, Minority Report, Philip K. Dick style dystopia. Spirit Airlines shut down after 33 years. Why does that number always pop up? Remember when COVID was going on? Everything was 33. 33 cases. 33 cases. 33. Eddie Bravo says that was them saying, Red Team go. They don't want you flying. Spirit Airlines shuts down as company says it cannot keep up with higher oil prices. Which this whole shit with Iran, Israel and all that jazz, this ties in with the Great Reset. They want us on electric vehicles. which they can control, which, by the way, we have a report we need to do on facial recognition and them shutting our cars down, which went through and passed. Starting 2027, we will do a whole episode on that. It's fucking scary as fuck. Spirit Airlines shut down, and it ties in with they don't want you flying. They do not want you traveling. They've already said that we will be doing our vacations through VR headsets while the elites are allowed to do their fun vacations. They want you locked in your house, dude. House arrest for everyone. Universal basic income. They tried pulling it off during COVID with essential workers and all that jazz. It's going to get weird the closer we get to 2030. It all ties in with the 2030 agenda. We've talked about it for years. So West Palm Beach, Florida, Spirit Airlines, an impish upstart that shook the industry with its irrelevant ads and deep discount fares, announced Saturday that it has gone out of business after 33 years. 33. Illuminati confirmed. The ultra-low-cost airline that once operated hundreds of daily flights on its bright yellow planes and employed about 17,000 people said it had started an orderly wind down of our operations effective immediately. I'm guessing that's like air traffic lingo. Although Spirit had gone bankrupt twice before, the company said high oil prices, which have been rising because of the war with Iran, made it impossible to stay aloft. This ties in with the hatred for Trump. If you read the book 1984, and if you've ever seen any 1984 movie, there's a character, like a fake leader, who all the people rage at. There's like an hour of hate that they watch him on a big screen and everyone screams and hates him. He's the tyrannical leader. I think that Trump is that figure in the 1984 George Orwell novel. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The scapegoat. I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit, but when you watch the whole TDS and the anger towards him and you read the novel 1984, you go, oh, he's that character. He's the tyrannical leader that everyone hates, while the puppeteers, no one focuses on them. The airline said on its website that all flights have been canceled and customer service is no longer available. Some passengers arrived Saturday for flights and were stunned to find them canceled, while workers learned overnight they were out of jobs. That's pretty shitty. They did the same shit. I talked about it years ago. Actually, it's I did a 2-part episode series of famous people I've met. Go check it out. Eddie Montgomery's in one of those episodes. I'll try to link it down below in Spotify. I need to put those in a playlist. If you're on YouTube, I'll try to remember. I'll put it in a playlist. That way you can listen to it. It's a 2-part episode. It's a blue pill episode. It's actually pretty good. It's just different famous people I've met and what I think about them. Eddie Montgomery went through a divorce. He's a famous country singer. My buddy worked for him as a bartender. He had a bar right down the road from the bar that I worked at. I actually applied there years ago. I'm glad I didn't leave Beaumont Inn to go work over there because they ended up shutting down. Eddie Montgomery went through a divorce. His wife took over the business. She fired the entire staff. They all showed up for work with a sign on the door of like, hey, you're out of the job, sorry. She didn't warn them, nothing. Place shut down, nothing. That to me is the shittiest thing you can do as an employer, man. That's so shitty. Spirit Airlines is, by the way, they're like the cheapest airlines. They're like the ghetto airlines, you know. So, I mean, ghetto behavior begets ghetto owner. Quote, we are proud of the impact of our ultra low cost model on the industry over the last 34 years and had hoped to serve our guests for many years to come, Spirit's announcement said. So this ties in too with like, we are Goy, we are the poor, this is how the poor were traveling, now we're going to shut it off. They don't want us flying. to save the planet. Inverted Gaia worship. You all know. I talked about it last episode. Love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about these two stories of They Don't Want Us Flying. And what do you think about the whole Chandra Levy case? Interesting shit. Check out the Missing Scientist playlist. Check out the Disclosure playlist. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I may be back again tonight. Let me take a bath and unwind and all that jazz. And we'll see how I feel.